Thousands of cartons of fresh peaches and nectarines are being recalled in several states, including Walmarts in Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
You try to eat right. Maybe you reach for a banana in the morning, grab some grapes as a snack, or toss a few strawberries into your yogurt like the commercials say. But there is something rotten hiding in plain sight. Fruit in American grocery stores is not always what it seems. Behind the shine, the stickers, and the cheerful pyramids of apples, there are problems that start before the fruit ever hits the shelf. And some of the biggest names in the business are the worst offenders. If you think fruit is a safe bet, you might want to look a little closer. Because what looks fresh can be weeks old, chemically treated, and handled in ways that would make your stomach turn. Let us start with the chain that sells more food than anyone else in the country, Walmart. Walmart's produce section promises low prices and convenience, but those savings often come at a cost. Former employees have shared some uncomfortable truths about what goes on behind those bright displays. One produce worker in Texas described a routine that involved repackaging overripe peaches and nectarines into smaller discount packs with fresh-looking fruit placed on top to mask the bruised ones beneath. "We called it fruit camouflage," they said. Customers were none the wiser until they got home and found half the container already mushy. Walmart's obsession with keeping prices low puts pressure on suppliers to deliver fruit fast and cheap. That often means fruit is picked before it is ripe, treated with ripening agents like ethylene gas, and then shipped across the country in cold storage. By the time it reaches your store, that shiny apple may have been harvested weeks ago. One employee shared that boxes of plums regularly arrived with mold already forming on the bottom layer. The fix? Wipe off the top ones and display them fast. Let us talk about storage. Multiple videos posted by whistleblowers show pallets of fruit left in stockroom corners overnight, without proper refrigeration. In some stores, fruit has been found sitting beside cleaning supplies and garbage bins. One image showed grapes stored in the same space as leaking detergent bottles. And even when the fruit makes it to the floor, it is not always handled well. Customers have reported apples with mysterious sticky coatings, bananas split and leaking from the sides, and strawberries that look perfect until you turn the container and see the white fuzz hiding underneath. Labeling is another issue. In 2022, an investigation revealed that several Walmart locations were tagging fruit from Mexico and Peru as grown in the U.S. A closer look at the packaging labels told a different story. This is not just a lie, it is a potential safety concern. Imported fruit can be treated with chemicals that are not allowed under U.S. guidelines. And if you are trying to support local farms or avoid long-distance food, you are being misled at the shelf. Now let us walk over to Aldi, a grocery chain known for rock-bottom prices and minimalist displays. Aldi keeps costs down by trimming the extras, but sometimes that includes quality control. Aldi fruit has developed a reputation online, and not the good kind. Entire Reddit threads and Facebook groups exist solely to complain about moldy berries and rock-hard peaches. One viral post showed a sealed container of raspberries from Aldi that were completely covered in mold, just one day after purchase. The timestamp on the receipt and the photo were less than 24 hours apart. Aldi operates with minimal staff, which means fewer people checking for bad fruit. One former employee explained it like this: "There is one person running the register and one person stocking everything else. If something goes bad, it sits until someone complains. That means you could be picking up a bag of clementines that has been in the bin for a week, untouched and unsupervised." Some customers have described biting into Aldi apples that looked fine outside but were mealy and brown inside. Likely from cold storage abuse. Aldi's bulk bins may save space, but they also create problems. Fruit is often dumped directly from shipment boxes into display crates without inspection. That means one bruised orange at the bottom can start rotting the whole batch within days. One customer described buying a bag of grapes that looked fine until they got home and found a nest of fruit flies in the bottom. When they returned to the store, the clerk shrugged and said, "It happens." Then there is the best buy date confusion. Aldi uses codes instead of readable expiration labels on much of its fruit. Unless you know how to decode them, and most people do not. You are guessing whether those strawberries are from this week or last month. One shopper claimed they were sold apples that expired 2 weeks earlier, only to be told that the store relies on visual inspections, not actual dates. While Aldi does carry some organic fruit, the selection is limited and often inconsistent. One week you might find organic blueberries at a good price. The next week, nothing but conventionally grown grapes with no origin listed. Customers who try to eat organic are often left with few clear choices and no way to verify how the fruit was grown or handled. Both Walmart and Aldi share a disturbing trend: minimal transparency, maximum turnover. Fruit arrives, gets displayed, and is expected to sell fast. When it does not, corners get cut, labels get fudged, bad pieces get hidden under good ones. And you, the shopper, are left trying to guess which fruit is safe to eat and which one is a ticking time bomb for your refrigerator drawer. If this is already saving you from a mistake in the produce aisle, hit the like button. And if you want more of these no fluff breakdowns, hit subscribe so we can keep calling out the stores that cut corners. The truth is, most people assume fruit is a safe category. It is colorful, it is supposed to be healthy, and it looks nice under store lights. But the reality is far more complicated. Stores like Walmart and Aldi have built entire business models around speed and savings, not quality. That means every time you reach for a piece of fruit, you are trusting a system that was not built to protect freshness. It was built to protect margins. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You notice the black spots under the bananas. You spot the shriveled blueberries hidden behind the display sign. You catch the condensation inside the bag of grapes, the kind that screams bacterial growth. And suddenly, that $5 savings on fruit does not feel like a bargain anymore. It feels like a risk. Because in today's grocery landscape, buying fruit is not just about taste. It is about what you are not told. It is about the corners that got cut before you even walked in the door. And it is about asking one simple question that can save your health, your money, and your trust. Where did this come from, and why does it already smell funny? You walk into Safeway and it looks clean enough. Soft lighting, polished floors, perfectly stacked apples in pyramid form. The music is calm, the shelves look full, and everything screams, "We are the upscale option." But dig just a little deeper, past the surface level aesthetics, and you start to see the cracks. Behind the scenes, former employees describe a different story entirely. One Safeway produce clerk said, "We were trained to make it look fresh, not be fresh." That meant rotating old fruit on top, spraying it down to add shine, and tossing a few manager's special tags to move the stuff that was on the verge of collapse. That rot runs deeper than bruised peaches. A health inspection report from California flagged multiple Safeway locations for holding pre-cut melon and mixed fruit above safe temperatures. If you are unfamiliar with food safety lingo, that means the fruit was sitting in the danger zone, between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, where bacteria multiply faster than you can say expired cantaloupe. And it is not just an isolated case. In Washington, another Safeway store failed its audit because the cold storage unit broke, and instead of tossing the compromised fruit, the staff just moved it to a different fridge and hoped no one would notice. Then there is the organic illusion. You see the green labels, you feel good about your purchase. But according to a 2021 review of Safeway's produce labeling practices, several stores were found to be mislabeling conventionally grown fruit as organic due to stocking errors. One insider explained that when organic bins ran empty, it was common to refill them with whatever was available. Sometimes even the same brand, just non-organic. So you might be paying extra for a banana that has never even heard the word organic. Customers have taken notice. Social media posts show moldy strawberries purchased just hours before, blueberries leaking inside their plastic clamshells, and grapes that crunch in all the wrong ways. One shopper posted a video shaking a sealed container of pineapple chunks, only to reveal a pool of fermented juice and a smell described as tropical garbage. And when they complained, The manager offered a refund and a shrug. Now let us move to Food Lion, a grocery chain that promises affordability and access in neighborhoods across the southeastern United States. Their slogan might as well be just good enough. But when it comes to fruit, that standard is slipping fast. One produce manager from North Carolina revealed that their deliveries came in just once a week, sometimes less. That means your strawberries might be 5 days old before they even touch the shelf. And if that shipment was delayed, get ready for the discount bin special, aka overripe fruit in new packaging. Storage is another sore spot. In many Food Lion stores, cold storage is minimal. That means pallets of fruit are often staged in warm back rooms while employees rush to clear space in the fridges. One former worker said if it fits, it ships. If it doesn't, it sits. Mold growth? Not uncommon. Fruit flies? Practically part of the team. A customer from Virginia posted a photo of gnats swarming a banana rack, while staff casually restocked nearby without flinching. But it is not just freshness, it is safety. A 2019 inspection of a Food Lion store in South Carolina found that their cut fruit was stored next to leaking meat packages in a shared cooler. Cross-contamination is not just a buzzword. It is the kind of mistake that can send someone home with more than just regret. And when asked how often the fruit bins were cleaned, one employee replied, "You mean deep cleaned? Maybe once a month, maybe." And for those thinking, well, I will just stick to the whole fruit, think again. Food Lion has a habit of bundling older apples, pears, and oranges into those plastic-wrapped value packs you see near the front. They look like a deal until you get home and realize 2 out of 5 fruits are already bruised, mushy, or leaking. One insider called them fruit grab bags because you never know what is inside. A customer review even described biting into a peach that was so sour it made my eye twitch. Then there are the price games. Food Lion likes to advertise deals like 10 for $10, but what they do not highlight is the short shelf life. Often these deals are used to offload overstocked fruit that is about to go bad. The blueberries may look like a steal until they start growing fuzz in your fridge the next day. And good luck trying to return them. Most stores have a no questions asked refund policy, but the line starts behind the 12 people holding bags of wilted lettuce and squishy avocados. Both Safeway and Food Lion follow a familiar formula. Keep the produce section colorful and full, even if it means bending a few rules. At Safeway, that means hiding the bad under the good and letting lighting do the heavy lifting. At Food Lion, it means selling fruit that probably should have been composted, not wrapped and priced. Either way, the customer ends up with fruit that might look okay on the outside, but is hiding a sour surprise on the inside. It is the kind of thing you do not notice until it happens to you. You reach for that peach that smells just right, only to discover it is mushy inside and tastes like vinegar. You pour a bowl of strawberries for your kid, only to find one already fuzzy with mold. You pick up a value pack of apples, and 3 days later, they are shriveling like raisins. And suddenly, those couple of dollars you saved do not feel worth it anymore. So why does this keep happening? Because it works. Because customers are trained to shop with their eyes. Because fruit is bright, pretty, and makes us feel healthy, even when the truth is hiding in the back room, slowly turning brown. Stores know that you probably will not inspect every grape. You probably will not sniff every apple, but maybe you should. Now let us talk about Giant, a store that many shoppers associate with convenience and predictability. You know where everything is. You can run in, grab your bananas and yogurt, and be out in 10 minutes. But here is the problem. Convenience often comes at the cost of quality. And in the fruit aisle, that trade-off is painfully clear. One former produce clerk from a Maryland location explained that fruit rotation was more about hiding the worst items than actually keeping things fresh. You put the new apples on top, they said, and push the soft ones to the middle. By the time someone grabs one, it is bruised and brown underneath. This kind of strategy is not uncommon, but at Giant, it is practically institutional. In a 2022 consumer audit, Giant was flagged for misleading freshness signage in multiple locations. One shopper even noticed stickers that said, packed today, only to find that the shipment date on the crate was 3 days earlier. When they pointed it out to an employee, the response was, yeah, we just change the labels sometimes. And let us talk about those clamshell containers. You know the ones: strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, perfectly stacked like a tiny fruit fortress. Except the top layer is often the only one worth eating. Giant has been caught using what employees refer to as top coating. That means carefully placing the best looking fruit on top and hiding the damaged or overripe berries underneath. It is the fruit version of clickbait. You think you are getting the whole package, but really you are just getting the thumbnail. Temperature control is another weak spot. One giant shopper in Pennsylvania filmed a video of sweating fruit containers, literal condensation forming on the inside of the plastic, just hours after opening. That moisture? It is not just a cosmetic issue. It creates the perfect breeding ground for mold and bacteria, especially in soft fruits like berries and grapes. And yet, those same containers were still being stocked without inspection because, as one employee put it, we do not have time to check every box. Now let us swing over to Family Dollar. Yes, it sounds odd to talk about fresh fruit at a discount chain, but more and more locations have started stocking it, especially in neighborhoods where grocery stores are few and far between. And that is the heart of the problem. These stores are stepping in to fill a food gap, but the standards they are bringing with them? Not great. A viral video from a Family Dollar in Georgia showed bananas so blackened they looked like they had been grilled. Another photo from a Mississippi store displayed peaches that were visibly rotting, still being sold as fresh local produce. The company responded with a statement about restocking procedures and supply chain inconsistency, which is code for we are not really watching this stuff. The truth is, many Family Dollar stores simply do not have the infrastructure to handle perishable items like fruit. No proper cold storage, no dedicated produce staff, no regular rotation schedule. One former employee said, sometimes fruit sits on the shelf for over a week. No one checks, no one cares. If it does not smell, we keep it. Another shared that they were instructed to wipe down bruised apples with paper towels soaked in lemon juice to make them look fresher. That might work for Instagram filters, not for food safety, and it is not just the back of house issues. Even the fruit displays themselves pose problems. They are often low, open, and placed near doors or heating vents, meaning fluctuating temperatures that shorten the shelf life by days. In one case, a Family Dollar in Alabama placed fruit bins right next to a heater. By the afternoon, the oranges were sweating and the grapes were splitting. So what can you do? Here's the hard truth. You cannot shop the way you used to. Not if you care about food safety. Not if you care about getting what you paid for. Grocery stores, whether they are discount chains or big name brands, are under pressure. Shrink costs, boost margins, move product fast. And when it comes to fruit, that pressure leads to bad habits. Fruit gets hidden, wiped, rotated, mislabeled, and marked down. And most shoppers? They never see it coming, but now you know better. You know that a shiny apple could be hiding a bruise. You know that organic does not always mean what it says. You know that a cheap price might be a sign that the clock is ticking, and fast. So check your fruit. Look under the top layer, flip the container, smell it, gently squeeze it. If the strawberries are already soft, walk away. If the grapes look too perfect on top and squashed underneath, put them back. If the value pack is sweating inside the bag, that is not value. It is a warning. And remember, you have more power than you think. Stores only keep doing this because people keep buying it. Every time you choose better, shop smarter, you force them to do better. So ask questions, pay attention, and stop assuming that the display means the fruit is fresh. Sometimes it just means someone was very good at stacking yesterday's mistakes. If this helped you look at the fruit aisle a little differently, hit the like button. And if you want more behind-the-scenes food breakdowns, subscribe now so we can keep peeling back the truth. And remember, the truth is not always on the menu.